We are live. Good morning, hockey world. How's it going? It's a great day, a little cold, but that's all right. It's cold in the rink as well. So back outside today, we're going to get some shooting in. We'll talk about wrist shot again. The last time we did this, little technical difficulties. We're streaming from a different area, so many did not see it. So we'll go through that again today. We're going to get going here in a little bit. Hope everybody's doing great. Time to get outside and enjoy the sunshine. Daniel Gold. What's up, Dan? Mr. Hans Kessel himself. How's everybody doing today? It's cold. I'm allergic to the cold. My eyes are watering. It's ridiculous. Yeah,
that's my question.
All the time. Who else is here? Check in. Sound off. Let me know who's here. Chris Durko. Come on.
Durko? Yo!
These kids are getting a head start. I'm gonna cut that sissy golf crap out and focus on hockey.
Oh shoot, that was terrible.
Oh,
Battery is very low.
Turn on the power.
See the net more.
Oh, but
Not bad.
all right, almost.
Now the thing's rubbed off.
That's all right.
What?
That's all right. All right, we're back. We got power. We should be good. Usuals: Jacob Colton Brooks, Landon Brody. I bet you if I scroll down, we'll see Sydney. Oh, no Sydney yet. All right. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do today to get moving. We'll do a quick stick handling warm up. Just a little, maybe we'll call it uncomfortable stick handling. We'll walk through it. So if you have a spot today, we talked about we're gonna do a little bit of shooting. So if you're able to get outside and you have a net, fantastic. If not, place in your basement. Hopefully, do it somewhere where mom and dad aren't gonna get mad at you for shooting at the wall or neighbor's house or whatever, right? So find a spot to go through with some shooting. But to do that, before we do that, we'll get into some stick handling first. So this is our warm up today. So it's just a little bit of uncomfortable stick handling, and we said before that your top hand's going to do much of the work, so we got to build up our wrist strength. There's a couple different ways that you can do that. We'll show you a couple at the end as well. But the first one, we're just going to go through and isolate different parts of our hand. So the first one, all you're going to do is in your hockey position, 2 hands on your stick. Laney, 2 hands on your stick. You're going to take your bottom hand off, and you're just going to 30 seconds. You're just going to stick handle with your top hand only for 30 seconds. Okay, so be here. Don't break the computer with the puck. Here, stick handle only, top hand, back and forth. Okay, ready, begin. going to be a little bit harder. It's a lot heavier, right? So we're just back and forth. Doesn't have to be hard. Like after 15-20 seconds, your upper wrist is going to be, your forearm is going to be on fire, burning. Start to get sloppy. Okay, go ahead and stop. Sure.
Hi.
Lainey says hi. Lainey says hi from the window.
I'm gonna come outside because I'm in my PJs and
All right.
my pants are too big.
Very good. Okay, so the next one you're just going to go through, same thing, but I want you to switch hands now. But I still want you to have your stick or your hand on the top part of your stick. So this is your, in hockey terms, non-dominant hand, right? This would be your lower hand. But it's still, we still have to work on that part as well to get some muscles built up in that part. So, same thing. This one should be interesting. We're on a hill, so everything's rolling towards me. So same thing, back and forth, with your top hand only. Okay, ready, go. Want to get into the action, Lando?
Sure.
Okay.
Really is deceiving though. It looks flat.
I know, it is deceiving. Okay, so do your other hand first. There you go.
Oh shoot.
Non-dominant hand. Okay, keep going. Got 10 seconds. Okay, so
How
go
do
back.
lefties do this? Honestly.
Go back to your normal position. This time I want us to move our top hand. I want us to move our top hand down the stick a little bit. So same thing. Now you're just going to have a little bit more control because your stick's going to be a little bit shorter. Okay, 30 seconds, just back and forth. Ready, begin. Always rolling back into my feet. That's crazy. Wrist starts to burn now a little bit, right? Doing a little bit more work than it's normally used to. Starts to get sloppy. And that's it. Okay, same thing. Now you're going to move to your non-dominant hand. So move it down halfway on your stick. So as a lefty, I'm going to put my left hand on the bottom. Lando, come back. As a righty, right hand on the bottom. Halfway down. Ready, begin.
Oh.
Let's go, 10 seconds. The surface that I'm using is actually a piece of rink board. It's just a piece of poly. And I actually just, we've had it for a long time. It spent most of its life outside. We use it also as an area, like in the winter when we have a rink back here, we use it on the sidewalk to get from our basement towards the rink. So it's a little scuffed up, but this morning we put, so we have a slide board as well, and we use a spray, like a silicone spray, and lubed it up a little bit. So
Nice.
I know people have used like from Home Depot, like there's like shower panels. I know people have used those for makeshift shooting pads as well, but shooting pads are very prevalent. You can pure hockey, hockey shot, no ads, right? Okay, so what else? Okay, so let's go back. We'll isolate that top hand again. This time, let's just do, if you don't need pucks or cones or whatever, you can do it on your own. Imagine a figure eight. But let's do top hand, figure, oh my goodness gracious. Figure eight, right? There's not a lot of space here, so I can't get too wide. Okay, so we're just coming through. Make sure that as we're coming, we're rotating that hand, top hand, to pull the puck back, control the puck, pull it back. Okay.
Now it's rolling the other way.
Huh?
I said now it's
Now
rolling
it's rolling the other way a little bit. Okay, so top hand only, coming around, and then switch directions as well. So you're making sure that you're working on going different ways. Keep going. Right, so depending on how wide you have your figure eight, like it's gonna be, you know, it's probably gonna be easier because you have more room, less margin, or more margin for error if you're going wider, right? So if you're going smaller, you gotta be able to really control and pull that puck back into your feet. Okay, go ahead and hold on for a second, right? And then, you know, we'll make it a little bit easier on this one. So if you move your bottom hand down again, it's going to be a little bit easier, right? So like this situation may be, Landon, come here, right? So I'm trying to hold Landon off. He's coming in on me. Like to have a little bit more control tight into our area. Like we can move our top hand down our stick to be able to protect a little bit more, be a little bit stronger on our puck, and be able, right? So that would be a situation you might be able to move your top hand down. Let's go do this again with our non-dominant hand. This one's going to be fun. Same thing, right?
I gotta go.
You got to go.
Yeah.
So this is, like, again, we never use this hand that much. And like for me, I'm a lefty in hockey, right? So I'm a righty in real life, so my left hand, like, you know, never really used that much, right? So this is going to be super hard. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's not fast. Continue to just work that puck around, right? What about the top? What about the top? Top.
I never use my right hand. What?
Cheater. Cheater. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so from there, let's try it. Now again, we said in the beginning, like stick handling in uncomfortable positions, right? So those are a couple. Here's another one. Like if we can think about when we worked with that paper plates or whatever, and we got in that skating stride, like let's try to get so I'm a lefty, I'm going to be in my forehand position. Let's try to get out to this and try to stick handle off to the side, right, in this outstretched position. Okay, reach out as far as you can, front to back. Okay, take a break, and then let's do it from the other side. So same thing, in the hockey stride position. Okay, and knee under our body, and we're just reaching and stick handle front to back. In that stride, try to reach as far as you can. Try to keep your chest up nice. Come back, do it from the other side again. Reach. Okay. Just do it for like 10 seconds each way, alternate legs as you go. to the cold again. Okay, alternate legs.
Come on.
Did you alternate?
What?
Go ahead.
You're lucky you're not me, because I got crazy cold hands. My hands are freezing right now.
All right, go ahead and take a break. Let's okay, let's do the kind of the same deal. Let's try same stick handle here, but now imagine that figure eight. We need more space. Imagine that figure eight again. Okay, just imagine figure eight, or if you have one, go ahead and push it through. And then go the other direction. Start to feel the burn in that front leg. And then you can switch to the other side. Okay. A couple more here. Let's do not necessarily very uncomfortable, but we did these before, where we're just in front, touching our knee. What this is going to do, it's going to change the lie on your stick. So as we go down, our stick is going to come up. So we have less on contact with the ice. So it decreases the area you can stick handle from. So we're just here. Okay. Do a few of those. Dual purpose here, like we're trying to, build a little bit of strength in our legs. Okay, and then the last one would be, we did, if you remember when we had the tape, we created that stick handling box, we had the tape coming up beside our feet, and then one in the front. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's really isolate zones 1 and 5, right? So whatever your stick handling surface is, if you can put that stick back in that area and move your feet up. So on your forehand side, the stick handling behind your feet, trying to keep your head up, right? See how far back you can reach. And you can switch it over to the other side. Same thing. Get your feet above your puck or ball so it's off camera. Okay. So our feet are above the puck or the ball. Uncomfortable spot for sure. All right. All right, so again, just a few ideas, like pick one or two or whatever it is. Spend some time the rest of the day working through those and try to figure out how to change it to fit your needs, right? So let's get into some shooting. How about that, right? So Today we're going to talk about wrist shots. Like I said, last time we did this, it was from a different site, so many of us missed it, didn't see it, and so we'll go through it again. So we usually start with wrist shot for a couple reasons, right? So I'm curious if we're out there, why is wrist shot usually the first one that we start off at? And what are why is it important, right? Why is it such a valuable shot? Anybody have any thoughts? Don't leave me hanging. I gotta know you're out there. Why are wrist shots important? Oh, crying. Nobody.
Oh, no.
John Ray. Oh, John Ray. So John, it's interesting. I just see John Ray. I wonder if you're still here, but during our shooting camps, John a lot of times would demonstrate the wrist shot day. John played here at RMU, and then he's actually has moved on. He's now on the official side, so he's on the fast track, becoming a professional official. So it's good to see him. So curious who's chimed in. Oh, it's powerful and accurate. That's it, Liam. Right, so it's accurate. It can be definitely powerful, depending upon what your technique is, and if you're using everything to your ability, your weight, your straight up technique, finding that great release point, using your $600,000 hockey sticks to their maximum potential.
ADV.
Powerful. Yep, they're super accurate, right? Probably the most accurate shot that you have. It's most used. It's versatile, and you're able to get the shot off your stick quickly, right? So it's super important that everybody shoots all the time, right? It's the most exciting thing we do when we get on the ice. Everyone wants to shoot pucks, but we want to make sure that our fundamentals and our techniques are appropriate, right? So what I would ask you to do right now is just we'll take a minute, and I want you to take as many wrist shots as you can in a minute, and I want you, as you're doing that, to really think about what's happening and what the steps are when you're shooting the puck. And as you're doing that, please chime in and let me know what they are. Okay? What things are we focused on when we're shooting the puck? Be nice if I could see it, because I could just call you out. What about you, Maddie McGee? Joe Cummings.
Coach Joe.
Joe knows all the answers.
Because he has
Logan Brody.
His Google right next to him.
Logan Brody. I know you guys are always here. Who else has always been around? Brooks.
Landon.
Landon's always been here.
What a name.
Okay. Alright, so we'll give you the answers, right? Oh, but I guess, by the way, we're on a delay. So that's the other issue. Feels like nobody's listening, but we're on delay. So, alright, so here's what we'll do. So as we go through and shoot, I think the easiest way to teach it is to teach it backwards and to reverse engineer the shot. So we know the puck ultimately ends up in the net, right? So, but how does it get there, right? So at what point does it leave our physical space and travel towards the net? So for me, as I'm going through and I'm shooting, the last point that's on my stick, that's the release point, right? So from there, probably the best thing to do is just isolate that part. Okay, so we're going to talk about our hands first. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll set up, we'll have a puck in front of our body, and we're just going to shoot using our hands, and understand that your hands work in a fashion where your bottom hand is got to be pushing as hard as you can through that stick into the ice and loading up your stick, and your top hand is at the same time from that release point, your top hand is away from your body, and it's a pull back. So it's a push pull. It's a push pull motion. So for this to work, we're gonna be. I want to set up where we have, for this purpose, our toes are going to be facing the puck, and that puck is going to be off our front foot, because that's kind of where the puck's coming off of our stick, right? So in that situation, we're going to be in our hockey position. Our bottom hand is pushing hard into the stick as we're coming, right? Our bottom hand's pushing hard to generate that torque and that flex. Our top hand is away from our body. We're up over the puck. We're not leaning back, right? So we're up over the puck, pushing hard. And as we're coming through, top hand, okay, as we're coming through, top hand is pulling back and driving the puck towards the net. So let's just work on this a couple times, see where we're at, and think about what your hands are doing here. Okay, so we're up over the puck, hands through. Oh, snipe. Okay, front of your foot, push and pull. Bottom hand push, top hand pull. Okay, Lando, let's see Lando. We'll talk about this. Hold on. Toes facing the puck for a while. Oh, that was... So your toes are still facing that, like square off your toes towards the puck. Put the puck towards your front foot. I know it's uncomfortable, right? Because we're not using all of our tools to shoot the puck. It doesn't matter how hard it is. Just trying to focus on two things in this part. Pushing hard with your bottom hand to load your stick, and then pulling back to create that whip as your stick releases from the ice. Okay, and then hold on. So for right now too, as we're doing this, resist the urge, because this will be later, resist the urge to pull the puck into your body and snap, right? Just get that puck like up into your body, nice comfortable position, so it can load into the stick and drive, okay? So that'll be part one, right? So from there, we realize we're not getting ton of power. We're not generating as much power into our shot because we're not using all of our tools, right? So at camp, when we're on the ice, we always ask the players, what is stronger, your arms or your legs, right? And well, the right answer here is, like, you got to be able to use your legs to generate power through weight shift and things like that, right? So the next part is we're gonna pull that puck into our back foot or back to our back foot to kind of create some space to get movement before the release. Because now if the puck is, like, if our shot from standing still with the puck at our toe, our front foot, is 5 miles an hour, right? If we pull the puck back to our back foot and we can push the puck 3 miles an hour to our back foot and these numbers, or our front foot, these numbers are just made up, right? But if we're pushing it 3 miles an hour and releasing it at 5, it stands to reason our shot should be 8, right? Should be, listen, you don't have to go to math today because that's quick math right there. Our shot is going to be a little bit stronger. So we need to add our weight transfer. So for that purpose, that would not be a smart idea. Because you're going to flip out and crush your chest on that, I guarantee. But I'd like to see you walk. we'll put you on it. Okay, so for the next part, what we should do is we have to get the puck from the net here for that release. So we're going to pull the puck back to here and to our back foot. So we're in our hockey position. We're pulling it back. We don't need to go way far back, right? Because now we start to lose balance. Not going to generate that much more power. But now we need to be able to move the puck to our front foot. And as we're moving through, we're wrenching down onto our stick. Okay, hands are away from the body. We get to this point. Now you add the part one. We're snapping through with our bottom hand, pulling back with our top. Okay, so we're just going to take a couple like this. Okay, so you get a little bit more of a weight. So as it's back here, you're loading on this back leg. As the puck's coming up, we're shifting, and we're getting our top hand. How can I show this? Okay, so if I'm here, right, as we're coming through, we're getting our top hand in front of the puck so we can lean into that stick and push down, right? So here, hands in front, push, 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 then finish with step one. So we're here and drive and really try to snap in towards where we're going. Okay, so that's part two, and we'll talk about finish here in a second as well. So work on part two, put it on your back foot, weight transfer towards the direction that you're going.
I hate not moving my feet.
Again, each part has its own job, right? So let's break it down for each part, figure out what the parts are, be as good as we can on those, and then put them all back together. Okay, now hold on. So something else we need to talk about here is when we're in that situation where we're pulling the puck from our back, or pushing the puck from our back foot to our front foot, our blade is closed towards the net, right? So we're closed, and as we get closer to our front foot, our blade starts to open, right? And this is kind of where we're able to kind of get under the puck a little bit, get a little on our stick, and try to elevate the puck from there. But as we're coming, we're going to think about this: closed blade, open blade, and on the follow through, we got to turn our wrists over and drive towards the net, right? Because if we're up and open, you're going to get under the puck, okay? And if our stick is up and open, as we're coming through, you're going to lose a bunch of power, right? You might get the puck in the air, that's great, depending on the situation, right? But you're not going to have as much control, and this is where aiming and picking your head up and finding that target, this is where this is going to be important. So, so part one was pushing through the bottom hand, pulling from the top, right, from that release point. Part two was using your body weight. So we're getting the puck on our back foot and weight transfer towards the front with thinking about, as we're coming, closed blade, natural body position. As you come through the front, it's going to open your stick a little bit. And part three is now we got to get our head up, find targets on the ice, and close our blade as we're coming to generate more power and whip, right? And aim towards your target. Okay, so as we're coming, if I'm looking top corner, right? So I'm going to be here. Okay, so as I'm coming, I don't have to look at my puck. I'm going to look towards my target and finish where we want to go. So I'm here, I know where it's at. Thanks for the sound effects. I'm like 4 feet from the net. Okay, one more as we're going to look for our target. Okay, Lando, let's see from a righty's point of view. Go again. Hold on, go again because this might help. Right, go ahead. Okay, so Landon's gonna shoot again a couple more times, and because like one thing that just kind of pops out is don't change anything.
Okay.
Just shoot. Okay, one thing that's gonna pop out is watch his body as he's shooting. Go again. Okay, so it's not as exaggerated, but as he's shooting as a righty, he's getting to that release point and coming back this way, like we're leading back away from the net. So, like, I'll exaggerate it. Okay, so we get to here, and we're trying to get up and under the puck, but our weight is back, and we're not able to load into our stick. So we got to be up and over and drive to where we're going. So, like baseball pitchers, right? They don't throw the ball like this and lean way back. They drive into where they're going. Same with football players. Drive where we're heading, or not, unless it's like Hail Mary, right? You got to drive your power towards the target. Better. Okay, that was good. Now listen, the problem here though is with our current setup, the problem is our toes are facing the net. So if our toes, I'm sorry, our toes are facing away, like sideways towards the net. So we're not moving towards the net right now. We're stopped, and most of the time you're not going to be stopped in hockey. If he's not stopped, he's moving sideways across the green. So that's not how we shoot. It's how we kind of started out to work on the fundamentals, but it's not how you actually do it in a game, right? So now we need to go back to the beginning and think about, like, what do we look like in the game. So we can do the same thing, right? So now if I'm shooting at the net, come back to the beginning. So my toes are facing, I'm moving towards the net. That release point, start at the very beginning again. Right, that puck is right in line with my feet. Okay, it's here, and just work on bottom hand push, top hand pull. So it's the same thing just like from the beginning. So we're here, straight line with my feet, my release point, my hands are above my body. So the top hand is above the puck, and by above I mean it's in front of the puck, and we're pushing and pulling. So we're here, and just drive your stick towards the net. Lando.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Let's shag some pucks, and then let's get you going. step one. This time our toes are facing towards the net. Yep. Remember, up and over, lean in. You get your hands in front so you can lean in and really try to push as you go. Right? Because we're just trying, like, we do this on the ice sometimes as well, where literally, like, we're just trying to push as hard as we can into the ice and let the stick snap and release off. So we're just trying to push as hard as we can and just think about that top hand, right? Because again, like, a lot of this power is coming from when your stick is here and it releases, like snaps like a rubber band. Like, that's where you're getting a lot of your torque from. And it does seem weird at first because you got to push and snap through, okay? Okay, so then think about, so what was step two? Well, step two was you're going to pull from here to here. And as we're coming through, we're now pushing and generating more power to find that snap. Come on, couple more. Couple more, but really think about what you're doing and how it's looking, right? Is there anything that you can adjust? So, again, watching Landon, the first couple, you made an adjustment here. But as we're coming, load and try to drive towards the net. So, now if we talked about, I think we called it step 3, was as we're coming from here, blade is closed. We get to here, it naturally opens, right? And now we got to drive it back. So we're here, open, snap it through, and then pick your spot, right? So we're here. Okay, a couple of those.
You get so much more power if you take a step. Like your feet.
Okay, so Landon just points out, you might have figured it out as well, like our feet are planted on the ice, right? So right now we're generating most of our power from dragging the puck or pushing the puck from behind our foot to the front and from the stick, right? So that's how we're generating most of our power. So now we got to figure out a way to use our weight transfer, right? So we got to activate our legs a little bit. So this can also be done, right? Leads into another part that I was going to talk about. Like, you gotta, like, right now, very simple, right? We're shooting straight onto the net in a perfect situation where we're able to plant our feet wherever we want. It's all perfect, right? So, but now you have those fundamentals and those kind of broken down pieces. Now, put yourself in uncomfortable situations. So, practice shooting from both legs. How'd that feel?
It did feel great.
Practice shooting from both legs. So like if we're here, practice shooting and stepping in from your inside leg. So we're going to step and drive up over the puck so we can get that leg out. Practice that a few times. And really throw your body towards the net. and then practice on that other leg. So sometimes we're going to be shooting from our other leg. So we're here. Okay. Practice shooting from both legs. Oh. Got knocked over. Go ahead, Mando.
Huh?
Go ahead. Okay, a couple more things just to talk about before we end up here.
Yes, well.
A couple more things before we end up here. So again, we discussed that this is a perfect situation. We're straight onto the net. Everything's perfect, right? So when you're at home shooting, you're not always going to be right in the slot taking shots. So, you know, move your shooting surface to different areas so you get a different look at the net. A different angle, and you can pick different spots, right? So that's number one. Number two, the other thing is that, you know, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable shooting off the ice, and something that, you know, we often don't think about is on the ice we have our skates on, so we're what? Another, where'd that go?
Went over here.
So we're off the ice, you know what, another 2, 3, 4 inches, whatever our skate blades are. So your stick right now is going to be much longer than it is on the ice. So like the lie of the stick and like it's just going to change like where your flex points are and all that stuff. So if you are shooting off ice and you have the luxury of having another stick, you know, make sure you cut it down a little bit, the length or the height of your skate blades. If you don't have that luxury, you can also have, you know, if you have an ability to have a surface that's raised a little bit from your shooting surface to accommodate for that loss in height from your stick, that would be great as well. So listen, that's what we got for wrist shot today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please, you know, either text them, or you know, write them in through here or email me. You can email me directly with questions, comments. It's buterbaugh@rmu.edu. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to know how you're doing. And again, keep those pictures, like send me some pictures or video, email, post them here. You know, we miss seeing you guys at the rink. And I'd love to know how you're doing and how you're enjoying these sessions. And if you have any ideas for future sessions, if it's something that you want to work on, please let me know. We'll factor those in as well. And you know, we're here for you. We want you guys to get better. We want to try to keep you active, and we really hope to see you very soon back at the rink. So stay safe. Hope you had a great day, and we will see you soon. Later.